Figure this out more later. Gentlemen, do you got the cheese sticks?
Oh, I got them.
I've always got the cheese sticks.
Oh, man.
Listen, I'm really hell-bent on getting corn coffee for the Christmas cast, which if you guys want to do next week, I'm up for.
Yeah.
Okay, what day?
Any day, really. Doesn't matter.
Friday works best for me.
I'm good.
Like,
Friday of next week.
Yeah.
But if Saturday works good for y'all, I can do that.
Either one.
Maybe two. But Friday, like, I can chill out indefinitely. Saturday, I might try to make a family party late at night.
Ah.
So I got Danny's profile pic still on my PlayStation.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Todd Howard, man.
Yeah.
The toddler himself.
It's pretty wacky racist.
I think for a while it comes up every once in a while. Like Chris, Jay, and I, we switch those images out really frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mine's themed this year, as you can see.
Yeah.
That's
not Big Pussy.
Yes, it is.
Pussy.
It's Sal Bompensero the moment he gets shot on the Stugats, and I decorated him with some ornaments and lighting. It's a really macabre thing to do.
Oh, man.
Rest in peace.
But it's festive.
Man,
Gets me in the
Yeah,
spirit.
I don't trust you, Chris. If you invite me out fishing, start acting all weird around me. I don't know.
What was it? When does he know it's Big Pussy? He's looking at the goldfish or something?
Okay, there are several dream sequences in The Sopranos where Tony's like walking by some fish in a market and starts talking to him, and it's his voice. Yeah.
Damn.
He's like walking on the pier.
Yeah, and he's sleeping with the fishes. You see?
Yeah. You know, I don't like sleeping with the fishes.
No.
I like being dug alive.
Sounds like you're fish simple. I mean blood simple.
Yeah, he said money simple in like the middle of the movie, and I'm like,
Yeah, what do you think about them dropping the title of the movie in dialogue? Did they say that? Did they say blood simple ever?
They say money simple, but they never say blood simple.
Well, I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
But even if they did, I personally always find that a very enjoyable moment.
I think it depends. Like, if Anton Chigurh went, "This is no country for old men," like, how dumb would that be?
Yeah, turn the movie off.
I think fuck y'all. I think that'd be just fine. Like, you don't need some like esoteric bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I outwardly like it. I'm not indifferent. I like it because I get to go. Because everyone gets to go. Oh,
I go, nice.
nice. Like,
See, like, imagine that in, like, I went to the midnight screening of Dark Knight Rises. Could you imagine if he said that?
the Dark Knight.
Dark Knight Rises. Can you imagine, like, the fanfare it would receive?
Oh yeah.
My favorite part of seeing that movie at midnight was, there's a scene where Batman's like standing on the bridge, like after he returns from wherever he was in the prison, and everyone in the theater just went fucking nuts. Just, woo! Yeah! It's like, no kidding, guys.
Yeah.
I don't like the movie theater experience.
I don't like
rarely
applause.
go
I
to
don't like
movies.
applause in the movies.
No, I don't like any. My least favorite part of movies is just hearing people chew, like in between previews and going.
Oh.
No. My least favorite thing about in between previews is, oh man, I gotta see that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just hear like,
Yeah.
that's good. That looks really good.
I like watching some movies in theaters. Like I watched Creed 2 over Thanksgiving holiday. That was really fun to watch in theaters. Like, I think everyone there, like my whole family who went, we're big Rocky fans.
Yeah.
And like, it's a really well crafted movie. It's got a lot of excitement and drama. The cinematography of the fight, the way it moves, the editing and everything is super cool. The sound design, and it's like, it's so good. I mean, like the first one so much makes... The only boxing movie before Creed that had a really good feel was Raging Bull. I don't know why more people didn't pick up from some of the things that Martin Scorsese did in that movie. He really used gruesomeness and slow... Not... I don't know if he did use slow motion. There was something to his shots that... like lack of close-ups and... it was very gruesome, but like I just remember like the fight scenes in Raging Bull being really good, right? And the Rocky movies are fun, but like the like the new movie shit on the old movies as far as like the feeling.
Yeah.
And the theater with the sound design was really great. Like there were times when like, you know, the main character would take like a nasty hook, and everyone like in the audience you would just hear like 8 or 9 like sincere like uncontrollable like, oh fuck. Like
yeah, like I don't, as much as I shit on Marvel movies, like Marvel movies, they know how to play a theater. You know what I mean? They're like loud and there's scenes like let's say like if Iron Man's flying around in the sky blowing shit up,
yeah,
it looks and feels cool because you know they got the big ass speakers that are busting away at you. Completely unrelated to what you're saying, but
it's like,
well, yeah, actually, contrary to what I was saying originally, in The Last Jedi when they
I was thinking that too.
The warp speed thing in the theater where nobody was anyway, but just hearing that in like all that theater sound glory, it was great.
Yeah,
I mean, the second time I did see it, as soon as the thing like cut through the
Star Destroyer,
someone went.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I was like, wow, you're ruining it for
everybody. Someone said, holy shit. Like, and yeah, that's fun. Like,
but
we're all feeling
like I'm the person who sometimes can't control themselves.
Oh,
but like I'm not loud.
Do you scream in scary movies?
You scream?
Yeah.
I've never seen a scary movie in theaters.
But it's like like I said, it's like movie theaters are really loud.
Yeah.
People make themselves be heard, and that's even
worse because everyone
like they want to be the comedian.
Yeah, they're doing a bit.
Because even my like, oh shit, like you could only hear if you were in a like one seat.
The 8 people around you.
Yeah, 1 seat radius.
People go out of their way to do that.
Yeah,
I think they're the center of attention.
Yeah, and so I'll go like like.
It's like they treat it like it's a bar. And it's like,
yeah.
You know, this is one of the reasons I don't go to bars to begin with.
Oh my gosh!
It's to avoid people like
everyone
you.
thinks they're in Mystery Science Theater.
Exactly, yeah.
And yeah, with sports, it can go both ways, you know? Like when you're at a sporting event, you could be next to a group of fans, and it's like the best experience you've had all month. Yeah. And then sometimes the fan makes it insufferable, even if you're on the same team.
They're like speaking to the refs.
Yeah, my dad and I had these tickets for Georgia Tech games that were always like constant season holder tickets, like two rows behind us. It was always the same people every year, and they were just like 3 Weisenheimer types. They were just hilarious. Like, okay, if you don't know when the ref signals to start the play clock, he goes like that.
Yeah.
And all these guys behind us just started going, yeah, raise the roof, yeah. It's just hilarious. I don't know why I remember that. I was like 10 years old.
You're like, yeah, raise the roof.
That's right. He is raising the roof.
That's raising the roof. You saw that and you said, oh, that's what raise the roof means. Well, I'll be.
I learned a lot of lessons at Bobby Dodd Stadium.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, not like from what I know about movies Chris likes, like, who cares if you watch those in theaters? You know?
No, I have
like I don't know. Like this movie, I don't see how watching it in a theater enhanced it more than when I watched it on VHS that I had bought in 2012 from Half Price Bookstore for $1, and I had my VHS player from home, and I had it hooked up to my maybe 22-inch CRT TV that I stole from Blank University, the University of Blank, when I was audio visual operator.
Uh-oh.
And they just kind of had these.
I figured this one out.
Yeah. And point is you know, I was playing a lot of fighting games, and you know, like you don't want lag on your TV, so right, so you get the CRT. You know, we're still playing some PlayStation 2 games at this point. Get that, you know, hooked up and I just watched it in my 1-bedroom apartment, and it was awesome. Like. You know, I had the volume all the way up. There's no one there. I was still single.
Yeah, like, I would never want to watch a movie like The Godfather in theaters. You know what's the best way to watch it? It's what I did recently. Over Thanksgiving, AMC just plays it all day.
I was going to say, on the holidays.
And they skip Godfather 3. That's the best part. They just do 1 and 2 back-to-back all day.
They're like, Godfather Marathon.
And so, it was seriously on our TV, like, for the entire day, and I'd just walk in and be like, oh, that's that part. This is great. I'll sit down.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way to watch it.
That's nice.
If you've seen it, of course.
Yeah, every time.
And, like, my dad would kind of pass through the rooms like, oh, yeah, that part.
Every time,
awesome.
My dad, multiple times, because my family likes to watch The Godfather, too, at my grandma Castañon's house, and there's the scene at the end of the first one where Michael's baptizing the baby, right? And it's symbolic, because he's becoming the godfather, and there's the dualism of, this so-called, what's the word, chivalry, and morality. That's a facade, like the cultural Catholicism.
Yeah.
That's a facade. Like, it's all bullshit. And then, but it's also cutting to all the heinous acts of violence that he's doing.
Shooting Mo Green in the eye.
Yeah, and every time that my dad, not getting anything, he chimes in. He's like, you know what? Those mafia guys, they are such bad Catholics, aren't they?
Oh, man.
Like, it does not fail. I've heard him say that at least 3 times.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
You know what? I just realized something.
You know what?
Huh.
It's like how Tony Soprano gets real into religion sometimes. It's like,
well,
what? Why?
Well, whenever Christopher,
what's your code?
Whenever Christopher becomes a made man, they have to burn
a saint card.
Yeah, the saint card and rub it in their hands.
Yeah, like you said, it's all a facade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like a necessary facade because it's the thin veil of something that they can cling to personally in society, that there's some rules.
Well, yeah, in their own mind, it separates being a petty criminal to organized crime.
Yeah, and you know what? To tell you the truth, that's always aggravated me about other Americans when they speak about the Italian mafia, because of stuff like The Godfather and how well the mafia was researched,
romanticized.
Right, there's this idea that the mafia, that the Italian American mafia were somehow
classier,
right, and honorable, and all this stuff, when they're not.
Yeah,
I could see someone posting on Facebook. It's like gangsters back then, and it's like a guy in a suit.
I've totally seen that.
And gangsters now, and it's
like
a guy
what
with
happened.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back to the day where gangsters wore suits. Yeah, and that would make my life great.
I mean, it's like they were just as ruthless as the cartel.
Yeah.
They were involved in human sex trafficking. They raped people. They were corrupt. They persecuted their own, paisanos. I forget what the Italians call them. Paisans, right?
Yeah.
No different.
Yep.
They were awful.
Yeah.
The only thing is, not all the horrible techniques were invented by then. That some organized crime has now. Guaranteed, they would employ them.
I would liken the mafia to a vice, like something just squeezing the life out of a neighborhood until it's just a husk, and then they go somewhere else almost.
Yep.
I mean,
you move into a neighborhood and they're like, oh, you owe us 10 points this every weekend, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've met
for protection,
Uber drivers, and they'll tell me about how they've moved from a border town like Progreso in North Mexico to here, and I'm like, well, what'd you do there? He's like, oh, I was a dentist. I had my own practice and everything. Yeah. And, there's nothing that law enforcement could do to stop the racketeering, And, speaking of racketeering, you know what a RICO is, right?
I don't think I do.
Okay, a RICO is a law on the books that allows...
Okay, it's the RICO law.
Right.
Yeah, I do know that, yeah.
And that's how they got Tekashi 6ix9ine. Think about it.
It was like the plot of that dull movie American Hustle, too.
I would have liked for, instead of the Four Tops, you know who the Four Tops are?
Yeah.
And it's the same old song.
Oh, yeah.
I would have preferred if it was Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I agree.
You guys...
Bitch, N-word, I ain't heard of you. Ain't heard of me. Get the fuck out my fucking face before I murder you. Blah, blah.
Yeah, that part at the end where Ray painted his hair rainbow colors, that was weird. It seemed a little out of place.
You guys are giving me a stomach. I don't understand the Tekashi 6ix9ine joke. I really don't.
I mean,
that's the joke.
Don't.
That's the joke.
I really don't. But where's the line drawn? Where is it a joke and where is it actual admiration?
I don't know.
I'm not sure anymore.
It's
really
so absurd.
Yeah.
Like I said, to me,
it's it's looking at a train wreck. Really,
So it's like the Chris Chan effect.
Well, sort of. It's
Tekashi 6ix9ine is Chris.
I think
it's seeing the product of everything that's I'm not gonna be that guy and say everything that's stupid or fucked up about today, but it's sort of like that.
That's interesting you brought that up, because Jay and I were talking. We were like disappointed with how normal Post Malone actually is and how kind of boring he is. Then we were like, is it kind of gratifying to see someone that looks like Tekashi 6ix9ine just be an absolute piece of shit?
Well, I mean,
and just like realize everything that you probably thought about him already.
Does it confirm some, not stereotypes, but does it confirm something that you think about someone who's like that?
Well, I mean, what is he like though? He just looks like a maniac.
It's what he presents to the world. Yeah. But at the same time, to me, what's interesting fascinating even about, to me, Tekashi 6ix9ine, is that there's the face, the part of him that is like, okay, this is gangbang, street music, right? Like, it's not really drill music, but, like drill music, like hardcore, violent lyrics, right? And I really like that. I like Ghetto Boys, street military, like I like peel your cap back music, But there's another part of me which I think is so strange, is that with his like things I've seen from like just his social media randomly, that hip hop things I follow, repost and everything, he had like a really like funny sense of humor and social media savvy and all these other things. But it's also like that same person, also according to what the feds are saying, is that like he was present in all these crimes, and he actually acted as a stick-up man, like in and I think some of the dates where they alleging these things they're like 2018, so they're like after he's already.
That's what I was wondering.
Like,
he seems like the guy that would do all this stuff after he starts rapping about it, like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost, and which makes it way worse, I think.
Well, it's like,
is it worse than if it were the other way around?
I mean, if like he claimed he had to do it out of necessity or whatever, I think it's worse than him just like
that's
posing.
That's the difference,
and then actually causing harm.
Well, I think he was doing like grimy stuff before he broke, but the thing that he didn't stop is kind of ridiculous. Like, there's no reason to be.
It's like T.I.
Kind of, because T.I., when he got in trouble for his gun charge with the feds,
brought a bunch of guns to the airport,
was like a big thing is that he was on a kill list, and I think it was for the Black Mafia family, which was this huge organized crime group from Atlanta, and so they had found, a law agency had found a list of people. His name was on it. Like 6 of those people were dead, so he was straight stockpiling like automatic weapons and everything.
See, I feel like Tekashi, I don't know anything about him really other than like all the charges, but I'm just thinking like he's just kind of like an asshole,
a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I
don't think there's anything redeeming about him. Like, for instance, I saw a video where he takes his mom and like mariachi show up, and I'm like, oh, that's sweet, look at the little Mexican mom, and he brings her a cake, and then he pulls out of his pocket like a wad of cash and just puts it on the table.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's so shitty. It's like the video of
Drake going around and giving homeless people money.
Yeah, and just filming it and putting it in his music video.
I mean, the fact that it was his own mother is like, dude, you have no subtlety.
Yeah.
Like, just no sense of self, I guess. Like,
because that's the
no
thing,
honor.
Right? Like, let's say that's your objective. Your objective is, I want to give my mom the stack of hundreds. I can either do this in private, where it will actually be gratifying and she can appreciate that, and I can appreciate that for ourselves, or I can
throw it on the table,
or I can throw it on the table and
exactly,
film it.
And not even like a check.
Yeah,
I bought my mom a check, or look at the car I bought my mom.
Yeah,
like even me, I might like.
Yeah, like athletes do that all the time. Where they'll
like
buy,
I would take a video of.
Yeah, they'll buy their parents a car.
I bought my mom.
Right, but the thing is, not only are you flexing on your fans, you're flexing on your mom.
That's it, exactly. He's fucking stunning on his own mom.
All right, case closed. He needs to go to jail.
The special victims unit.
Yes,
podcast court is over.
Yes, I think that should be a new tradition.
So if Tekashi 6ix9ine has to watch one Videodrome movie we've covered every day in prison, what are we giving him?
In the Mouth of Madness.
Max Knight.
In the Mouth of Madness, he might legit.
Exactly.
That might actually drive him crazy.
That might
like crazy.
I think that's what
Yeah,
Chris
I was
is
about to
saying.
say. Maybe it'll turn him. Maybe it'll turn him sane.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
He needs to come out of the mouth of madness and back into the.
Yeah, Max Knight. Max Knight was pretty good.
He'll break out of prison. Like,
with his cool
he'll learn
gadgets.
it, yeah.
What if we give him deadly prey and he
Hunts down all the
Oh,
SoundCloud rappers.
oh no.
What is this TV they have in prison? It's like some like headset they put on. They get transferred all their powers.
Oh man.
I know one thing though. This is Texas.
There's
What?
20 minutes in. All right.
okay.
Texas is an incredible setting for movies. I love movies that happen in Texas. Now, this is just me speaking out of Coen Brothers tend to put their movies in Texas.
Well, only one other one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, okay, so No Country for Old Men.
No, but they do it so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think-
And the fact that there's so other few people who do it,
Yeah.
it makes it seem like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Raising Arizona, that's like
But it's also
West
interesting
Texas.
to me because it's a Texas that I don't know at all.
Oh, yeah?
The Texas that has been represented in No Country for Old Men and Blood Simple. Except I know I went to Big Bend once, but otherwise I'm very unfamiliar with those settings.
Oh.
Like the rural Texas. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about rural Texas.
I think the thing that I like about it, and especially with rural Texas, is this like sort of this sort of like ghost of Tejano that's kind of happening in the back in all of it. Well, I mean, maybe even more obviously so in No Country for Old Men, because you know it's Mexican gangsters who shoot up Llewellyn, well, who even caused the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, in this movie, you hear music in Spanish throughout the whole movie,
Yeah.
and I like that a lot because it's real. Like,
Well, it's
Well, it's interesting because you obviously have experience with rural Texas,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
like I don't think either of us do really.
a little bit. I've got family.
Okay.
and where he went to school, you know, was kind of
Yeah, I mean-
rural-ish.
Oh, that's
and-
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And
But I mean, I've got family out in Amarillo.
Okay, yeah.
Every-
Now, see, that's I'm familiar with Amarillo.
Yeah.
oh, you know, like the opening scene where it's not even like you know, West Texas, but they show like Gulf Coast Texas with the oil rigs.
Yeah.
It's like that's like where I grew up. I mean, there's a lot of, you know, in between here and Houston, like those old school oil rigs, you know. Now they're much bigger, but they still get erected periodically. Someone, you know, has a contract and they go out there. It's not like that stuff has even gone away, you know.
But it's cool when it's represented in media, because when people try and think about Texas, they think about Old West Texas, the same way that maybe I would think New York to be Old New York. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know.
Or like 90s New York.
It's like that Agnostic Front song.
I miss the old New York. I miss the CBGB's needles on the ground.
I miss getting mugged.
I miss
walking
getting
down the
mugged.
street.
I miss getting a fucking bike lock slammed against my
God.
head. Was some fucking
But I like the way that's represented. I mean,
yeah, and I mean what's great about it is that it's like when it comes to, you know, movies in Texas and everything, there is this idea of like you said, like there's historical, but also only West Texas, and then like movie producers haven't helped at all. So in the History Channel, there was a miniseries about the Texas Revolution, right? And my parents watched it, and there was a town called Grenada, and Grenada is like an hour from where I grew up, and they have like fucking like West Texas like hills in the background.
Oh yeah.
And it's all
See, that would be.
it's all the Gulf Coast.
That would be
Yeah.
infuriating
Gulf
to
Coast.
me.
yeah.
And my dad was like, "What the fuck is this?" or like Victoria, Texas, like they got mountains in the back.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
That's like what it really bothers me when like people that don't know anything about Texas just assume it's all like cowboys and just hillbillies. It's just like,
Yeah.
from what I have experienced here, like you could not be further from the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
It's like because we live in Houston,
It exists somewhere.
which is like
yeah, but
the most diverse city in the country.
yeah.
I mean, there's parts of things. I think what I like about this movie is that it reminds me of. It lets me think about when my parents were young adults, right? So my parents were young adults, about our age, more or less during the time this movie was shot in 1984, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, people still kind of more had Texas accents back then, but there's like a black dude who works at the bar and no one's tripping on him.
Yeah.
Like you got the kind of Mexican music playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Beneath those neon lights, and it's not like outwardly. I know this is a pejorative, and I don't really like it, but it's not outwardly hicky.
Yeah.
It's very Texas.
Yeah.
But it's not like that. It's like just a little more rural than say like the Dazed and Confused. By Richard Linklater. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like from what I understand, like my dad's like, yeah, like where we're from, it's a little more than that, but like yeah, like that movie gets it pretty well, and yeah, man, I like how the movie shot. What I particularly like about the movie, which I think conveys our experience, I think anyone from Texas who gets it immediately, is when it starts off and you see the black highway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Just
right?
completely,
Just
yeah.
straight up, because that's what Texas is. It's a very large state with not a lot of shit in between it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, who's gone out on, has had experiences driving down those long,
Well, that was the funniest thing.
long,
Like,
lonesome highways.
when me and our friends were driving back from Big Bend, which is a national park in like far southwest Texas, like on the border, we drove from there back to here, and it was like, are we even in the same country even anymore?
It's flat and empty.
Well, it's just like going from like the mountains of like southwest Texas, and then like here,
Completely
which is just a
different
concrete
geographical
jungle.
region.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa, it's crazy that we're still in the same state.
Yeah, I mean,
Also, it was like 10 hours.
I mean, you got West Texas, right? Which looks like, a desolate wasteland. You have North Texas, when you have parts that are the Great Plains, where the Apache and the Cheyenne, used to live. And then you have Piney Woods, Texas, which is straight up like pines, lakes, catfish, and
East side.
all right, then you got your Gulf Coast swamplands, and then you get down to old Mexico, down in the proper by the valley, by the Rio Grande Valley. Like in all those in one place. I mean, of course, the only other states that have such a diverse range is, well, probably only one. It's probably only California. that can boast
The same kind.
the same very distinct
Yeah.
swaths of like geographical regions. But I mean, Danny, Chris, what were your expectations going into this movie? Did you have any?
I kind of expected it to be a little like a predecessor to No Country for Old Men, just based on the setting and like the themes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I expected was a not as clean No Country for Old Men. Like,
Well, see, I was almost expecting like something so neat and tidy because it was a directorial debut, but not because of like, well, more along like the writing. Like they wanted to keep it simple. You know what I mean?
so more narrative than No Country for Old Men, perhaps.
Or just
I don't know, because there's not a lot.
just something
in either.
high and tight. Just like you know what's happening the whole time.
I
Okay.
mean,
That's what I was expecting.
what is your favorite Coen Brothers movie before watching this?
No Country for Old Men.
Probably
Country for
that.
Old
Yeah.
Either that or The Big Lebowski.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now where does this fall in your canon of Coen?
I like the way Blood Simple looks more, but I think as an overall movie, I would put No Country for Old Men on top still.
I would say it's my least favorite Coen Brothers film.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Whoa.
And this isn't even
Well, it
hot.
moves hot, but
This isn't
it
even
pays off.
Shot you down.
this is an even hotter take. It's not that the other two are way more above than this one. It's that I don't
Are
know
those
if-
the only
I don't
other
know-
two you've seen? Because you said it's your least favorite.
Yeah, you haven't seen Fargo,
I haven't seen Fargo.
which is a classic.
I haven't seen
Miller's Crossing,
No.
It'd be
Raising Arizona,
No.
Barton Fink, no.
No.
Hudsucker Proxy.
Well, I thought Three Billboards was them, but that's
No,
what's his
Mark
face?
McDonough.
That's McDonough.
Old
It
brother.
does feel
Old
like
brother,
it
where
because
art
of Francis
because
McDormand.
McDormand's in it.
Old
But,
brother, where art thou?
Oh, you've seen
Oh
that?
yeah, I have seen that. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's
Was it-
still my
is it
least
below
favorite.
that?
God damn.
Well, actually, okay, and here's where my even hotter take is probably is. I don't think I like this movie
Cover
very
your ears,
much.
Arthur. Cover your ears. Don't say that again.
I'm sorry.
My
but
bad word filters are
know.
like.
I.
Yeah, real nice, Daniel. Real nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't.
No, go on. You're on your soapbox.
Here, let me explain.
No, this is a judgment-free zone.
Let me explain. I think
Feel free to tear away at Art's soul anytime.
I'm sorry, Art. One of my least favorite things in life is when,
what a setup.
is when people don't answer me when I'm talking to them. Like when someone talks to me.
Whoa, listen to you, big britches over here. Wow.
No, but
Hey, look at me.
have you ever been having, or have you ever tried to initiate a conversation with somebody and you say something, like maybe a stranger, you say something, they just kind of look at you. They don't answer. They just
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the time.
Sure.
On the metro.
Coen Brothers films do that a lot.
Yep.
They're
But
quiet.
in particularly No Country for Old Men. Like I feel I'm trying to make
Your
connections.
favorite.
Yeah, I'm trying to make connections between this movie and No Country for Old Men. This movie is even more so that of that kind of stuff, and it makes it's not that it makes
Your
me
balls itch.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It and I think that's why I don't like it. Or not I don't like it. I enjoyed the movie, but
Well, it's like, to tell you the truth, I have an issue with the sound design choices that directors make sometimes. So I'm watching this show on Netflix called Castlevania. It's an animated, high production reimagining of Castlevania 3. And it's got universal acclaim, beautiful to watch, very talented cast. But they make a choice when it comes to their directing that they want a very natural delivery. So people talk, and so I have my surround sound speakers all the fucking way
You
up,
have to turn it up and down.
and I can't hear 30% sometimes of what an actor is doing because the director was like cool with their choice to be like, just go in and out with your cadence,
I had subtitles on for this movie.
And you still had a hard time?
I still had a hard time.
I watched it
I
on
like you, don't I?
I watched it
Yeah.
on a plane with my headphones in, so I was good to go.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes you got like really quiet, like what? Like that beginning part where they're having that conversation in the car.
Yeah.
That's when I was just like I need to turn the subtitles on, like because they'll stop in the middle of sentences. Like
Oh,
like
man.
Ray does that a lot.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to follow as much, but all that being said is the conversation does feel natural. You know what I mean? Like even like.
Well, he's not a man of many words.
Yeah.
But none of these characters
That's the
really are.
point.
And it's also to be a snapshot. So the way they wanted it was to not have too much like dramatic dialogue, even though that's like what you're saying is very gratifying, and what I'm saying too is to an extent I like it. But
Yeah.
what I like about this movie is that it is unique and it is a snapshot.
Yeah.
And to say you have this lady and she's not sure about herself, Frances McDormand's character, so she doesn't know how much of herself she's putting out on the line. Then you have what's his name, Ray?
Right.
Yeah.
Who's Raymundo, who's like kind of a stoic like Texas type, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't wear it on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And so like this is a snapshot, of what an awkward ass conversation between them sounds like. And that's kind of true to life. I've seen plenty of old folks who sound like that, and you're like, wait, what? How do they communicate any information to each other?
My uncle is pretty much like that.
Yeah.
He's from Texas.
Yeah, and like it reminds me of the way that the sheriff from No Country for Old Men, the actor
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. The way that he's really curt with his sentences. He speaks in like short sentences.
Right, but at the same
It's
time,
also poetic, though.
Yeah.
I love it.
yeah, but at the same time, they make a point to make sure we can hear what he says.
Yeah.
By the time
I'm sure they've learned.
Yeah.
They learned by that.
And-
They obviously didn't emphasize the dialogue. They wanted to emphasize, like, reading their faces and then the whole atmosphere, I feel like, in this movie.
Also the noise, like the non-dialogue noise.
Like
Just in the movie, they wanted to emphasize that. I believe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a part where I think right after, what's his name, Marty gets shot, he's, like, leaning back in his chair looking at the fan. You hear, like,
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Did you like Drive?
Yeah, I like Drive.
Man, that's even bigger with the pregnant pauses.
But what I'll say is, I think Drive was a prettier movie, and that's not to this movie's, that's not to this movie's folly, because this is an older movie, and some of the stuff that they did with Drive is like
yes
of its technical.
I actually feel like I didn't think about this until I just said that. I think this movie is a lot like Drive in a way, and I feel like if someone liked Drive, they would like this. So I'm surprised.
It's I don't know, like
you just woke up a hater.
Yeah, maybe.
That's all I'm trying to say.
I just
fucking love this movie. Like okay, it's hard to hear people. Whatever. That doesn't.
Oh my god.
That doesn't take away like how cool.
You need to get your ears vacuumed out.
I'm not,
the fucking like scene with he's burying Marty. Like how fucking.
When he gently
cool that is.
That's my favorite part of the movie, when he gently takes the gun away from him.
Plucks the gun from him.
It's the creation of man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Think about it.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, okay. So
and then there's oh man.
Maybe I was exaggerating and I said I don't like this movie. It's maybe it is just that this is my least favorite Coen film, and maybe it was an expectation of mine that I would enjoy it in a way that was different.
I mean,
and not that I have my chops of Coen Brothers films. That this isn't a real Coen Brothers film. I expected more from them. It's the expectation that I had going into it. Yeah, like,
well, to be honest,
and that's why I'm not. I don't want to be unfair to it, because it is the first one, but it's also good. Like, a lot of the stuff really stood out to me. I think the characters are really unique. I think that the way that the way that people fall into situations is really real. Like Ray took it upon himself to take care of this thing that had happened to what's his name? Sorry, I'd written it. Marty.
Pre-cell phones, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first you'd be like, "Bitch, you kill this guy?"
Yeah, like.
Yes or no? What?
Yeah.
Let me Snapchat this.
Okay.
All right, since I know you have a lot to say, let me get the 2 cents out of the way. I'll give you 3 cents if you want to.
Oh.
Hey.
Danny's already shortchanging me.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say.
This is one of these movies that I don't think there's any like narrative spot that like I'm taken aback by the whole time. But it's one of those movies where like if it was on TV and it kept repeating itself similarly to The Godfather, I would keep it on all day. I just love being in the world.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies. That's why I loved it for that specifically.
I think it's a really tight noir film. There's.
I also do like the very simple stories that just get wrapped up.
Right. It's like
it happened in a moment of time, and then once you leave that, okay, that happened. Yeah. That's it.
And what I like, I mean, there's a lot of cool things. I like scenes from this movie that I like a lot. I like the whole sequence where at night. Oh man, how it looks at night. Yeah. When he gets out of the car. That's so cool.
I love the bar also. The neon signs everywhere.
That shot of him digging the grave is really cool.
With the headlights.
The headlights just kind of like hitting each row.
Yeah. The signs. Yeah.
That's like it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
And I'll take that as a consolation.
What makes this movie special to you, Arthur?
Yeah,
well, like I said many times, noirs are my favorite movie. So this is the most straight up noir Coen Brothers movie. Lebowski's actually a send-up.
Strangely, it is.
To a noir with the misunderstandings,
the rug,
the cross wires, and everything, right?
Mm-hmm. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it's a send-up, actually.
It really is.
And so No Country for Old Men has noirish elements, but it's also not. Yeah. It's like a post-western more than that. What's really cool about this movie are just things like I like action sequences a lot. I like how things feel and how they convey that to me as an audience member. So like terror, right? You'll hear all the time people discuss, and I think it's true. What's scarier is it the thing that you can see that's going to kill you, or the thing you can't see, right?
Constant paranoia.
Right.
That's a huge theme. Yeah.
And so, to me, what is a tremendous sequence in No Country for Old Men that I love is when Llewyn is getting shot at by Chigurh, and he can't see him.
Yeah.
And he's in the car.
Oh yeah, the bullets are bouncing off like the trucks and stuff.
Yeah, and the guy gets domed.
Yeah.
Like, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, that you captured that sense of terror. It's like, I heard this recently on a podcast where they were training actors for Full Metal Jacket, right? And the actor, so they're like, so this sergeant's taking them out, and he's like, all right, fires off some blanks. The actors hit the floor. He's like, okay,
Cut.
you see your best friend next to you, he dies. What is your immediate feeling? And the actors go, oh, like I'm torn apart, oh, I'm enraged. I go into, he's like, no, your immediate feeling is gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was your best friend, you're just immediately lucky that, grateful that it wasn't you. And so that, like, terror, I feel like the Coen brothers captured really well in that sequence in No Country for Old Men. Mm-hmm. And they, like, prepped it with, like, when Ray's in the apartment and he just gets shot by the hunting rifle from across the other building. I think that part is so cool.
Oh yeah, she turns off the lights, right?
Yeah.
Or she throws something to knock out the light.
And then the other scene when he's trying to break into kill her at the very end.
Dude, it turned into a slasher movie at the end almost.
Yeah. And it's like, and
it's such a unique way too. Like, I love it when movies, I think we've talked about this a lot, when just they do something so, like, it would happen in real life because it's not pretty.
Yeah.
Like him sticking his hand around a window and getting it stabbed, and he's like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I love unconventional stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and what I like is that, like, he wasn't outwardly bloodthirsty to begin with. He's completely immoral, but he wanted to do the path of least resistance at the beginning, and he faked that he killed him so he could get the money.
One body for the price of two.
Yeah, and bounce.
No.
But that didn't pan out, and this fat schlob, right?
Schlob.
This fucking, what was his name in Dukes of Hazzard?
His name was
Boss Hogg.
His name was Visser. In this.
Like this Boss Hogg looking.
This
fuck.
really is a Texas movie.
Well, I think what's funny was he was always dressed up the same way anytime he was out doing a mission. He was always wearing the big ass hat with his bright suit.
Dude, he's like Hitman.
Yeah.
It's on a suit. That guy was awesome. This jovial maniac.
I would put this guy over Agent 47.
I would like to play as him in Hitman.
I would too.
Can we get on that, guys?
Yeah, IO Interactive, you're listening? But, like...
but yeah, and he becomes just a straight menace.
When
like,
someone messes with his plan, his true colors show. His suit turns black. His cowboy hat turns black.
He
grows a mustache.
No.
No, like it just turns into it. Like, and it turns into a black suit. His bolo tie turns red. He starts smoking a
his
cig.
hair starts to fall off.
Yeah, it's true. He gets a barcode on his back of his
And
neck.
he falls backwards into a grill, and that's how he gets it.
I mean, like, to me,
I like the characters a lot. I like his character.
I don't even care about the characters that much.
Really?
I only like the bad guy.
I like the...
The other guys are
I really
interesting.
I enjoyed watching Ray react to everything, just in the smallest ways. Just him
Yeah.
mulling over every situation.
I ain't done nothing funny.
Yeah, I love that. The
He's
foreshadowing in
like,
that.
He's like, oh.
Yeah.
Because you know
Where
what
have
he's
I heard
thinking,
this
right, Danny?
before?
You know what he's thinking when he says that, right?
What's he
When she says, I ain't done nothing funny.
What's she thinking?
You remember this, Mr. Newlywed. He'd heard that one before. Ooh. He's thinking,
She did something.
maybe I've been played a fool. Oof.
Yeah.
When she's telling me those sweet lies, them sweet nothings. Think about it.
You know what you say when that happens? You say, "I've been had."
I've been had.
And but
I wrote down two things, and
Wow.
I feel like
one,
Two whole things, huh?
this movie sucks fat bolas.
Well, I wrote two things about the characters. The way that I first described them were poor Richard Nixon and old
for
James,
Marty.
Yeah, and old James Franco for Ray.
Oh, James Franco. I mean,
I liked Marty's character.
I liked him too. He's my second favorite character.
Yeah, like I like how you can see that after he mentions to the private investigator that he has a burner in the back, you remember, oh, that's the thing he was thinking about when he was sitting out on the stoop.
Yeah.
It's just like, how, like he was mulling that over, like, I'm gonna fuck these two people up, but what am I gonna do after that?
Yeah.
And then he was just staring into that fire. Like, I like that they wrote it behind the bar. I think that was really cool. But I also think it's
when
really...
you said burner, I thought of the cell phone. I was like, wait, what? He's just looking at his phone.
He's looking at the shotgun on his lap, his burner. I also think it's really funny how he said, if you come back here, I'll have to shoot you. And then under his voice is like, yeah, that's good enough notice. Or so he says something like that. Right? He says like, that's I'll write it down. That's fair notice is what he says. He tells himself. He's like, so if the case is that he does die, I told him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He feels really desperate.
Yeah, and he's not even like the noir type character like Sam Spade, but played by Humphrey Bogart, right? Where like you're like, oh, he's got it. Mm-hmm. Like you walk in, you're like, oh, he's got it. He's on top of it. And then you're like, oh no, he doesn't, right? With him, you're never like he's got it.
Yeah. No, it's messy the whole way.
The whole way.
Well, right. He's surprised that he got his private investigator to agree to kill him. He's kind of scared.
And he vomits in like the bathroom after he gets the photos,
like
right?
even before then, like when he's discussing it after he meets him at fucking Makeout Point or wherever.
Yeah.
He's like, after he finds out, he's just like, yeah, I can do that for the right price. He's kind of disgusted with himself.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like, oh my god, like, he can actually do this if I give him the money. Like,
I mean, what drives a man to do that? I don't know. I've never been in the situation, thank Christ, where I've been cheated on. Mm-hmm. But I can't imagine wanting to kill somebody. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just... I don't know.
No, yeah, it's fucked up. Like
it is. I mean, like, why can't you just deuce out? You know,
yeah.
I might, like, put hands on somebody, but like, kill somebody, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what his investigator said. Like, you're an idiot.
The urge to kill. Yeah, exactly. He does say something like that. Like, the urge to kill somebody would be like so ephemeral. It'd be like for the day, and you'd be like, oh, I guess it's not that big of a deal. Really, I'm over it.
Yeah,
probably
like,
take more than a day, but you know.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I'm saying.
If like let's say if the assassin or the investigator had told Ray and Abby, hey, skip town. What's his face is out fishing. I guarantee you, it would have been the same thing.
Dude, he could have taken a finder's fee for that too.
Yeah.
Also,
that's a movie.
Pre-internet.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he gonna do? But you know what? Like, let's see how old he's. Maybe about 53 or so in this movie. Mm-hmm. Marty's character. What year are we in? 2018. This is
84.
34 years later.
Yeah. Yes.
Holy shit! That's a long time.
Is this man still alive?
Oh shit!
I think he might be.
Let's look.
Oh shit!
But it's, I was looking up the actors in this movie.
It is 34 years later.
I was gonna
say he would be in his mid-80s. I thought we were gonna do the math and he'd be like 70.
60 or 70.
And I'd be like, oh, he'd be on Facebook and he'd be like, Ray, what?
Like, that's all in the 80s.
He's 44 in his role. He was born in 1940. 78 years old now.
Man.
Oof. I swear, 40-year-olds did not look as good back then.
And he is from
right?
Brooklyn, and I'm not surprised at all.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like he's from New York.
Well, when I first watched it, I was like, this is an Italian man.
Yeah.
And he's got cowboy boots, but he doesn't look Mexican.
He's a fish out of
water. Doesn't look white. Yeah. Where's he from? Why is he in Texas? Like, but you know what? He would be a Yankee because, like, I can't remember it clearly, but weren't those freshwater fish?
I have no idea.
No, he went to Corpus.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah, he says go down to Corpus and go fishing.
I don't know why I'm misremembering in my head. Because I was kind of watching the movie on the side while I did some other things and taking notes and other. But I could have, from my original memory, I think I might have glanced away. I thought it was freshwater fish. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Maybe it's the director's cut and they switched it out.
Nah. What if I was that? What if I was that stubborn? Right? Like, what if I was
like a
that
George
committed?
Lucas thing. CGI some catfish.
I really thought it would inform his character better.
The catfish are the key. Have you seen the behind the scenes thing where he's like, Jar Jar Binks is the key to all of this?
No way.
It's just a quick sound clip.
Yeah, I've seen those. But like, you know, in his defense, I really like the behind the scenes.
I hope they release
from the '90s box set with Leonard Maltin.
Hopefully they put Blood Simple back in theaters and have some CG in it.
Well, okay, what?
Well, yeah, what would they see?
What
The
scenes
catfish!
would benefit the most? So we have the catfish.
Fish, yes.
Okay, that's Chris's pick. You have to come up with one. I have to come up.
Well, let me throw this in too. Take out the blood squibs.
Take out the squibs.
Take
Who
that on
needs 'em?
toast.
Yeah.
Out.
I want some bloody mist like Freddie W.
Ooh. You're gonna darken the corners.
Yeah,
of the
because my blood is a gas.
Pardon me.
According
Is
to
that like Rocket Jump guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would make the blood boil in the back seat of his car.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
The stuff that stained it.
I would also CGI,
boil.
like I was saying, I would make that guy's suit turn into black as he got evil.
Like Venom.
And then
it would like spread.
Yes, and then you just hear. Yeah.
That's such a better version of what I was gonna say. Because
Right.
I was just gonna say, make his hat CG, like just CG it on,
Mustache.
like the opposite of what I heard they did to Henry Cavill in the Justice
Yes!
League.
They CGI'd his beard off or whatever, right?
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
you just
Oh, so
CGI
bad.
one on.
Well, they CGI it off and CGI it back on.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Just a different one. Really mocap it.
Yeah, that was the Coen vision.
Yeah.
When they couldn't do it back then. It was the 80s. Come on.
I think they got better at writing. I think the two things that would have made this movie better is just slightly different dialogue, right? And you know, they didn't have a huge budget. Maybe better actors.
Some of the audio mixing was a little weird.
Yeah.
Some Some sounds were like they cut out weird. Like when people would put stuff down, you'd hear poof, and then the sound would immediately
clips
cut
out.
off. Yeah. Also, one thing, and I know this is a super petty detail to even complain about. Whenever the investigator is lying on his back dying and looking up into the pipes, that clip of the water droplet kind of moving back and forth, you can tell it
looped?
You can tell it looped.
Oh, really?
Like you can tell it goes forward.
I
and
usually
then
pick
back.
up on that.
I don't know. I was just like,
So we got to CGI the water too.
Yeah.
It's funny that you said it was made in the 80s. We didn't have those technical aspects down because they released a director's cut in 2000, I think.
Uh-huh.
And that's one thing he said, tongue in cheek. He was like, due to so many technical limitations, our vision wasn't fully realized. All they did was trim down some scenes so there weren't as many pregnant pauses.
Yeah.
That's the runtime's the exact same almost.
weird.
Yeah.
And they had a preface at the beginning. It's due to the technical limitations, and all they did was trim some stuff.
Strange. I like the beginning of the movie, that audio clip that plays.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's the thing that you said was at the beginning of some album, right?
Yeah. Power Trip, Manifest Decimation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is a thrash band from Dallas that has been picking up steam in the underground. They're pretty fucking sweet. But he's like, he says, in Russia, everyone pulls for each other. At least that's the theory. I think Bernie Sanders, a young Bernie Sanders, watched this and he said, "That's the one. That's what I'm gonna do."
What if his poster was just the Blood Simple poster?
Watch Blood Simple. That was his. Watch Blood Simple, why don't you?
Have a look.
You want I should watch.
Did you watch that King of the Hill episode recently? Awesome.
What?
There's a King of the Hill episode where I think it's
Hank's mom's going out with this Jewish guy.
Yeah.
And
Bobby picks up on his mannerisms.
On his mannerisms.
Oh,
He
yeah.
thinks that's how cool people talk.
And
Yeah.
he keeps going up to Hank. He's like, "You want I should help?" And he keeps calling them Jewish jokes or something.
That reminds me of when I was a kid. My cousin Boner has Tourette's and started acting up when we were maybe around 10, and he would do this tick that he couldn't control, just a quick head nod or
That's cool though.
and I thought he was doing it for emphasis, an exclamation sense, and I remember going to school being and now I know it was Tourette's.
That teacher's like, "Oh man, Art's got it too."
It's spreading.
Oh fuck.
Oh, gee willikers.
No.
But Danny, did you ever watch Hard 8?
Nope.
Well, fuck.
I was gonna say, were you gonna bring up directorial debuts?
Yeah. Because I've been thinking about directorial debuts.
What are some other big ones?
There's
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
Okay, I like that one.
If you take like the big directors of the generation, Reservoir Dogs.
Was Mean Streets?
Right, but that's kind of old school. So let's
Okay.
So maybe 80s to forward, but Mean Streets is
Those PTAs.
Hard 8.
Hard 8, and then Catherine Bigelow is Point Break. Christopher Nolan is
Memento, I believe.
I like that movie.
Have you
He
seen
also
Memento?
had another movie
Yeah, I've seen Memento.
that Jay has mentioned several times called like Follower or something like that.
Hold on, I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
Aronofsky was a movie called Pi.
Oh, Aronofsky. Yeah, Pi. Yeah. I've seen Pi.
I like Pi more than any of his other movies.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what David Fincher's directorial debut was? Was it Aliens 4?
It might have been, which is crazy.
That's crazy because I really like his movies. But like,
Following was.
Yeah, see, I was right.
I haven't seen that movie.
It was 2 years before Memento.
Who
did you ask?
Was it a theatrical release? Following?
I don't think so.
Let me check. It was. It says they got a box office.
Okay.
It made $240,000 with a budget of $6,000.
Wow. Okay, that's legit.
Who did you ask? What was their directorial debut?
Yeah, just any directors you could think of, kind of in their.
Let me just look up best directorial debuts.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's not his. Well, feature length.
Okay, so
in
there's
Bruges.
Play Misty for Me, Blood Simple, This Is Spinal Tap, Reservoir Dogs, The Shawshank Redemption, Bottle Rocket, Donnie Darko, District 9.
Bottle Rocket. District 9.
Yeah, Neil Blomkamp.
Is interesting because
The Maltese Falcon.
that guy hasn't lived up to those to the promise of that movie, which was really cool. An original movie, like I don't know, man.
Whoa, there's like an entire Wikipedia page for this, and it's huge.
Of directorial debuts.
Yeah, but it's like of all directorial debuts, not even just like this list is massive.
Do you guys ever get into something like really niche and you're like just craving something, so you'll pull up a long list and go through every single?
Yeah, pretty much.
I've done that with animated films released theatrically.
Oh man!
So I've gone through every year and have opened a new tab, going down per year from every country that has one available to see if I would be interested in this movie. Like, I've done that multiple times.
I did that whenever I was super into chivalry. Not the concept of chivalry, the game of chivalry.
Started holding doors open.
I looked up on
Baptizing his coworkers.
Oh, yeah.
I looked up on Wikipedia list of all medieval weapons.
Yeah.
And I went through each one, like learning why would someone use this? Why would someone use a billhook over a like a spade or a not a spade, I don't know, like a.
You're getting a hot ticket straight to Guantanamo with searches like that, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh man, sus searches, man. That's a whole nother podcast.
Oh, it's the Google search, how to make an atom bomb. It's for a research paper.
But
I feel like I've searched stuff like that where it's like, maybe I should.
How should I word this? Yeah.
That's funny.
Man. But at any rate.
Is it your favorite directorial debut?
Yeah, I need.
That you know of.
Because if Rashomon by Akira Kurosawa,
I don't think it was.
Is his first one.
Because he did a bunch of stuff like in the mid 40s, right?
Yeah.
And that was like 53 or something, I believe.
Okay, so actually, here it is. It's the greatest directorial debuts of all time, Ranker films, according to fans.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna go from. Let me start at 10.
Rated on the internet, Christopher Nolan's at the top.
Probably.
Let me start at 20, and then go up to 1.
All right.
That
so
works.
Badlands by Terrence Malick.
Oh shit, that's a good movie.
The Maltese Falcon by John Huston.
That's a fucking good movie.
Lady Bird by Greta Gerwig.
Fuck off.
Oscar bait.
Well, it's also,
you know what?
It's
movie's,
also new.
You know what movie's better than The Maltese Falcon? Deadpool by Tim Miller.
It's not a bad movie, but it's not Maltese Falcon.
A Star Is Born by Bradley Cooper.
Once again, I've heard
Yeah.
that's a good movie.
That came out this year.
Ass hats.
Donnie Darko by Richard Kelly.
What else did Richard Kelly do?
Nightcrawler by Dan Gilroy.
That's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
John Wick by Chad Stahelski and David
This
Leitch.
is a weird list.
I really
Being John Malkovich by Spike Jonze.
Oh,
That is a good movie.
Boys in the Hood by John Singleton.
That's a good movie.
The Evil Dead by Sam Raimi. District 9 by Neil Blomkamp. Night of the Living Dead by George A. Romero.
Okay.
Eraserhead by David Lynch.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Ex Machina by Alex Garland. American Beauty by Sam Mendes. Reservoir Dogs by Quentin Tarantino.
Any movie that's younger than 5 years shouldn't be on any.
Well, you'll like
definitive
you'll like
list.
this one. Get Out by Jordan Peele is number 3. Citizen Kane is number 2 by Orson Welles.
I mean, like, Get Out has the potential to be on this list, but it's like.
But they put like 5 movies that came out in the last 2 years on there.
Yes.
Well, right, but like
It's
I suppose also your concern should also be like
What's number 1?
number 1 is The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, okay.
The concern for me is also, have these people who are on this list also gone on to have successful
followed
careers?
up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Blomkamp hasn't.
and well, another thing with that list is that was user generated.
Yeah, those are like user ranked.
But
Oh.
which people who are like Deadpool crazy are going on the best directorial
exactly.
outing, or is
I gotta
it
get more of
movies
this.
with the highest ratings
No,
that are best user rated? Do you get what I'm saying, Chris? There's a difference. The users didn't vote for it. It's the highest, because that would make sense, because Shawshank Redemption on IMDb user rated is the highest rated movie of all time. It's like the most. It is legitimately like the most beloved. It's America's favorite movie. Is The Shawshank Redemption. That's what we collectively think is the best movie.
So I mean, there's some other ones like Bottle Rocket, Bound.
It's not that good.
Bound, Heart 8, Being John Malkovich, Boys Don't Cry, Ratcatcher, The Virgin Suicides. What is this
Oh,
list?
wow. I know that.
Sexy Beast, You Can Count on Me,
Are you describing me?
La Cienega,
Virgin Suicide, Sexy Beast.
Virgin Suicide, Sexy
The
Beast.
40-Year-Old Virgin,
Ew!
Michael Clayton, Synecdoche, New York,
Whatever. Fuck it.
Hunger, Act of Killing,
This
I'm
is
Fruitvale
saying
Station,
this is my favorite
The
director.
Babadook.
Feature length for me would be In Bruges.
In Bruges.
That's a really good movie.
That's a good movie. But it's a. But like I would say, the reason this is my favorite. I don't think this is the best directorial debut I have, but it's my favorite. And so I can see how In Bruges fits that too, because In Bruges is perfect, I think, for what it sets out to be, and it's a very good film. But yeah, that was Blood Simple.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, now you do.
Okay, yeah.
Not
You
thinking
appeaser,
about it.
you dabbler.
Look,
You dabbler.
look, don't. I fucking hated this movie.
Oh,
I'm kidding. Okay.
I'm cutting it right after that.
wait. What's the next movie?
Oh yeah,
Christmas
Christmas
Cast.
cast.
Oh, Christmas Cast.
Christmas Cast. Yeah, we're.
I guess we could. I could go. I'll save it.
Okay, save it. Save it.
Save it.
You're gonna love it.
All right.
Save it.